So the All Blacks have just announced their first lineup of the November internationals, going head-to-head with the Irish this weekend in Chicago. And Scott Robertson, building upon what we saw throughout the Rugby Championship, I'd say there aren't really any curveballs across the starting side or reserves, but we will be looking through them. And this video, starting with the front row, it is number 1, Ethan de Groot, number 2, Cody Taylor, and number 3, Fletcher Null. This was the anticipated front row from Razor. We did see the injury of Tyrell Lomax, which meant they needed someone else to slot in at tight head prop, and that is exactly where he put Fletcher Null. For this contest in the locking duo, it is Scott Barrett slotting in as the number 4. He is also captain for this game. And then at number 5, it is Fabian Holland. He's already played some brilliant rugby throughout 2025, and him with Barrett in that locking duo, as well as the same front row up front, I feel like that is some great news for New Zealand. Ireland pretty set with their selections. Andrew Porter, Dan Sheehan, and Tyke Furlong as the front rowers, with James Ryan and Tyke Byrne in that locking duo as well. In the loose forward trio, this is where we do see New Zealand selecting pretty similar to the Rugby Championship. Number 6, Simon Parker. Number 7, Ardie Savia, who is once again vice-captain. And then number 8, this is where they've gone with Peter Larkai, giving him the starting opportunity up against Ireland rather than off of the bench. And I believe that is for that impact of Wallace Satiti. He's very versatile off of the bench, and I wouldn't be surprised if once again those two chop and change throughout the whole of November. In the backline, it is Cam Roigard starting as that number 9, with Beauden Barrett slotting in at 10. So something that we did see from the All Blacks in the most previous game up against Australia. They've got Ratama off the bench, as well as Damian McKenzie. So keeping those two Chiefs together off of the bench. But that Roigard and Barrett combination, it can be dangerous. Roigard showing exactly how strong he can be since returning from injury. And Beauden Barrett, at the end of the day, he is a veteran. He's played up against the Irish quite a few times in the past, and for this game in Chicago, perhaps he could be an absolute game changer for the ABs. He's going head-to-head with Jack Crowley in this game. Moving on to the rest of the backline in the midfield, it is Geordie Barrett as that number 12, and he fills that other vice-captain role with Quinn Tupaia slotting in at number 13, a man-of-the-match performance up against the Australians. You could say out of position, but he played that well that he's played himself into a starting side, just not in his normal preferred number 12. In the back three, it is Caleb Clark out on the left wing. Out on the right wing, they have gone with Leroy Carter after a great start to his international career. And then number 15, this is where we do see Will Jordan. So that is the starting side. Minimal changes, like I mentioned, compared to what we saw throughout the Rugby Championship. It's a pretty set side overall from New Zealand. And off of the bench, it is very similar in that regard as well. In the front row, it is Samisoni Taukei'aho slotting in as number 16. Number 17, Tamaiti Williams, with number 18 being Basilio Tossi. So going with what most would feel are the strongest in those positions. They could have gone with George Bauer. They could have given the debut to Taveta Mafaleo, but I feel like that's coming a little bit later on in the November internationals. Number 19, this is where we do see Josh Lord get that chance. I know that it was a bit of a 50-50 for a lot of people between Lord and Derry in that 19 jersey, with number 20 then being Wallace Satiti. So that should be a pretty strong impact off of the bench. And as I'm listing these players, as well as mentioning Ratama and McKenzie, quite a few Chiefs making their way off the bench for this contest. Number 21, Cortez Ratama, so no Finlay Christie for this game. Number 22, Lester Whainanuku. He has a huge amount of cover that he offers when playing off of the bench. He can play out on the wings. He can play in the centres if needed. So a very handy player to have for the ABs. And then at number 23, it is Damian McKenzie. So you've got the whole backline covered in terms of reserves. It's just whether or not they do need them due to injury, or whether they can wait strategically, use them at the time that they want to. But nonetheless, that is the All Blacks lineup, ladies and gentlemen. And like I mentioned throughout this video, Ireland have also announced their side, looking very strong for this game in Chicago. And it should be an absolutely awesome matchup between the two sides. We are going to be doing the commentary on the channel, as well as a preview a little bit closer to kickoff. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think of the lineup in the comments down below, and I will see you all for the next one.